Hey guys, it's Dr. Justin Marcagiani here. Today we're going to be chatting about fibromyalgia here briefly. Before we do, make sure you smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications. Also, tell me about your experience with fibromyalgia. What have you noticed? What's helped? What hasn't? What's given you relief over time? So one of the big things regarding fibromyalgia, there's going to be chronic pain throughout the body. Usually there's some kind of centroallodynia where the nervous system is kind of upregulated and you have lots of different pain spots throughout the body. Some of the diagnostic criteria says 11 or more, and just random pain spots, like for no reason, like just a gentle touch. Hey, that's outward pain, right? And that's the nervous system is so high strung. The feedback that you get just from a little gentle touch is creating pain. Now, why is that? So there's a couple of different mechanisms I want to highlight. So one is low thyroid function. Low thyroid hormone is notorious for causing chronic systemic pain. So we may test thyroid by looking at TSH function, but we also have to look at the downstream T4 and T3 hormone levels, and we have to see if there's an autoimmune component, because a lot of thyroid issues, the immune system is beating up the thyroid, and over time that thyroid may lose the functional capacity to make thyroid hormone. Also, fibromyalgia is associated with a lot of other autoimmune conditions. You see it with chronic fatigue syndrome, you see it with lupus, you see it with RA, you may see it with Hashimotos, which is an autoimmune thyroid issue, you may see it with MS. So a lot of these chronic immune issues, there tends to be this smoldering inflammation in the background. The smoldering inflammation, interleukins and cytokines being at high levels, lots of inflammation, may drive more gut permeability, and then may also increase the immune system's response in an autoimmune way, meaning your self is attacking self. And that's important because when you are already inflamed and then you add insult to injury, imagine you get in a fight, right? You just got beaten up and then you start punching yourself, right? That's an autoimmune attack. So we're seeing that with the thyroid. Inadequate thyroid issues can start to cause systemic pain. And then if we start to have gut issues and gut permeability and poor digestion, we know the mitochondria plays a very important role in fibromyalgia and generating energy. And usually fibromyalgia tends to come with a lot of fatigue and pain together. So they usually chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia are connected, and that's because usually there's some kind of adrenal connection issue with fibromyalgia, some type of thyroid issue connected with fibromyalgia, and some type of mitochondrial issue. And again, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Nutrients like carnitine, CoQ10, creatine, various B vitamins, fumarate, malate, succinate, creatine, ribose. These are all important mitochondrial nutrients, and if we have poor digestion and stress, we may not absorb these nutrients optimally. So, of course, the mitochondrial nutrients that are needed to generate ATP through the Krebs cycle and glycolysis and through the beta oxidation and the electron transport chain, that ATP is really important for the mitochondria. We need healthy thyroid function. And so if we have an autoimmune attack beating up that thyroid, we may not be able to make enough thyroid hormone. We need selenium, we need iodine, we need copper, we need magnesium, we need zinc, we need CoQ10. These are all really important for thyroid conversion activation. Also, vitamin A is very important. And then if we have a lot of adrenal stress, whether it's high or low cortisol, we may not be able to deal with inflammation. We may not be able to deal with a healthy immune response. We may not be able to help deal with the inflammation in their gut or build back our healthy gut barrier. So you can see high fibromyalgia can easily be connected to a thyroid issue on one side, an adrenal issue from low or high or imbalanced cortisol rhythm due to hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis issues, and or mitochondria problems. Mitochondria typically from the stress and us burning more of those B vitamins and energizing nutrients up, and or just from the fact that we're not absorbing those nutrients well. And so we have a deficiency and a bottleneck of those nutrients getting into our system, absorbing it, assimilating it, and digesting it, and utilizing it. So we have to look at, with fibromyalgia, we have to look at the immune system. Is there an autoimmune issue? We have to look at the thyroid levels, TSH, T4, T3, thyroid antibodies, reverse T3. We may have to look at cortisol levels, cortisol rhythm. We have to look at sex hormones, especially in females. Estrogen dominance, low progesterone can make it very hard to deal with inflammation. More estrogen dominance can really skew the immune system into a more of an autoimmune attack. And we may want to run deeper tests like a organic acid to look at a lot of those Krebs cycle mitochondrial nutrients, B vitamins, methylation. These are very important for generating energy. And if we have issues, we have to, one, fix that, support those nutrients, and make sure we're fixing the underlying cause of why it's there. Is it a diet thing? Is it a gut thing? Is it a stress thing? Is it an absorption thing? What is going on? What's the root cause? So we got to look at everything holistically to understand how we got there, fix it, and then do supplemental support so we can help reverse it so we can heal faster. All right, this is Dr. J here. Just wanted to review that fibromyalgia topic and try to connect it upstream to the other hormonal systems, digestive system, detox, mitochondria, and then look at the underlying stressors that may have caused it, physical, chemical, and emotional stressors, diet, stress, too much, too little exercise. How we get there is very, very important so we can reverse it. Let me see if I have any questions here, guys. I'm going to just skip right to it. How do we know if we're not absorbing nutrients? So we can run an ion panel, right, which is a really good intercellular nutrient test. We can do a SpectraCell. I like an ion because it looks at the Nutri-Eval, which give me a window into intercellular nutrients as well as organic acids. And that will test all these mitochondrial pathways and give us a really good window at how we're doing underneath the hood. I like that a lot. We can obviously do a conventional blood test to look at thyroid. Again, your conventional medical doc will typically only do TSH, so we have to do T4 free, T3 free. We have to do TPO antibodies, thyroglobulin antibodies. And then we may also want to run reverse T3, maybe even T4 and T3 total as well, just to make sure we have that looked at. Great question. So in general, we have to make sure we have good digestion too, right? We need to make sure enzymes and acids are adequate. So if we have any bloating or motility issues, we really want to make sure we're on enzymes and HCl too. How does a fast thyroid affect muscle tone? Well, we can have hyper muscle tone, right? We can have too much muscle tone with high thyroid issues. So the high thyroid could be because you're taking too much thyroid. It could be because you have an autoimmune attack that's stimulating overthyroid production. So usually hyperreflexiveness is going to be a big deal with that. Okay, I'm going to try to only go right to questions that are actually pertinent to this topic here. I'm not a big fan on hair mineral analyses because how does the minerals get in the hair? How does it get there? Right? It gets there through eating them and digesting them. So if you have poor digestion, it's going to throw off the hair to begin with. So you may be dicking around with the hair being like, oh, well, this mineral's off or that mineral's off, but you got H. pylori, you can't make any stomach acid, you can't ionize your minerals. Like, you got to look at the root cause, right? Effect, cause. So hair mineral analysis is way down low, where upstream just having good digestion is very important. Do binders bind to vegetable oils when eaten by food by any chance? I mean, in general, you want to take your binders away from food and supplements. That's kind of just a good rule of thumb. Excellent. Very good questions there. All right. And then regarding fat digestion, we know vitamin A and a lot of these fats are really important. So enzymes and acids are great. If we're noticing still a lot of floating stools, we may want more bile salts to make sure our stools aren't floating. Again, a lot of extra fiber can cause floating stools too, but if we run a stool test and we see a lot of increased steatocrit or a lot of shine or grayness or blondness to the stool, or we're having excessive amounts of wipes or skid marks on the toilet seat, that's a sign that we're not breaking down fat, and having extra good quality bile salts in there are going to help, because vitamin A is vitally important for our thyroid function and for our immune system. Right, vitamin A, you'll get some of the precursors in our vegetables, right, beta carotene to vitamin A, and then we'll also get it in cod liver oil, which is very important for our immune system and for helping our epithelial cells, right? Very important. All right, any last questions, feel free and let me know. So fibromyalgia is a big deal, connected with a lot of autoimmune conditions. If you have it, you got to get to the root cause. There can be other infections that are at play too, like blasto and H. pylori and Yersinia enterocolitica and fungal overgrowth. Those are all really, really important things. Okay, excellent. All right, guys, hope you had a great day. If you didn't get the topic, feel free to rewatch the video, and I'll be back again later on this next week coming up. Have an awesome day, guys. Put your comments below. Feel free and share it to family and friends. Take care. Bye.